First and foremost, I do have a quick question for you. Do you have a 3 to 5 step signature framework, a signature coaching framework to walk your clients through? I want you to just take some time and just think about that. Like, can you see how you having a process can really break down and showcase to your clients how you are their go-to expert, you are their guide, and it'll just bring so much clarity. By the end of this live stream, you're going to see the importance of having a signature framework. So I do encourage you to stick around, because I am going to be breaking down why you need one, why it's so imperative to your coaching business to really have a system. It'll make it so much easier for you and your clients. And so the reason why this even came up was because just 1 week ago, literally 1 week ago, last week, Thursday, I was cooking dinner, cooking dinner as always. I was making some stewed chicken, some Jamaican stewed chicken, and I literally I've been cooking stewed chicken since I was a teenager. So I literally have done this 100 times. And for some strange reason, I guess the fire was too hot before I put the oil. This has never happened to me ever before in all the years. I've been cooking for over 2 decades now. In all the years, this has never happened. I put the oil in the pan. The entire pan ignited with flames. Ignited. I was so scared. I was so caught off guard. I didn't even know. I was just like, okay, wait, what just happened? It just happened so quickly. And so my entire stovetop was caught afire. The fire's literally blazing, touching the top of the stove, the hood, whatever. And immediately I'm like, okay, I can't put water on it because it's oil. It's just gonna get worse. So I'm like, okay, I can't do water. And then I remembered, oh yeah, I can do the fire extinguisher. I have a fire extinguisher. So I was going to get the fire extinguisher, but then I'm like, okay, wait, how do you use it again? And then I remembered, oh yes, pass. I remember learning pass. I remember learning the pass. Pull, aim, squeeze, sweep, right? I remember the framework, and immediately, but then I didn't even have to use it, because then I remembered, all right, my third thought was, okay, wait, I know that fire cannot survive without oxygen. So then I had the lid, so I just slid the lid over the pan, and then the fire stopped, right? So by the grace of God, I'm still so grateful. I was shaking for a while after. My whole entire kitchen was full of smoke. I was coughing. I had to run out the house, open the windows. It was terrible. And I say all that to say, because it really reminded me of the message that I have for you today, where it's because I remembered, if I needed, in the case of an emergency, a sudden emergency like that, if I needed to use my fire extinguisher, I remembered the framework. I remembered the process. It was a 4-step process. And I remembered it from high school days. And because also I teach it to my kids, but it's because there's a framework, I was able to recall it in the moment that I needed it. And it's the same thing with your clients. And so again, do you have a 3 to 5 step coaching framework, a signature coaching framework that your clients can walk through? It's really important for you to have this, because it really, when your clients are in a jam, or they probably see you show up constantly, but they don't know exactly what you do. There's no clarity to what you're doing. And so they see you showing up, they see you giving value, they see you giving tips and tricks and motivation, but they're like, oh, I don't know if it's for me, right? And so this is why it's important for you to have your signature framework. And I'm going to be breaking down an acronym that I have for you, FIRE, so that you can understand the importance of having your signature framework. And so the F in FIRE is formulate your framework. Formulate your framework. Inside of the Business by Belief Accelerator, my coaching program, this is the first thing that we do. So within my CPR framework, I help you the first thing we do is build out your signature framework. That's the very first thing. And we put it into a premium offer. And so if you can't define your process, your audience can't depend on the big, bold promise that you're promising them at the end of working with you, right? So if you cannot showcase okay, this is the vision, I'm going to make it so clear for you. So just like Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision and make it plain upon tablets, that he may run who reads it. So when people show up and they're seeing your content, they're seeing how you're showing up. When you have a clear system and you can showcase to them how you're going to help them, it makes it so much clearer for them. So now it builds that know, like, and trust factor. So they're like, oh yeah, this person can actually help me because she has a process, a clear process that will help me to get from the hell that I'm living in into the heaven that I want to be in, to get me from this problem that I'm suffering from to this problem actually being solved. It really showcases how you're going to help them. And when you have a framework, when you formulate your framework, the brain actually retains structure. Like when you have structured information, the brain retains it like 40% more. It retains it 40% longer when you have a clear process, a step-by-step process. And so this is called stigma theory. And this is why I feel like this is why I often speak through acronyms, right? I often teach through acronyms because it's clearer. It's a clear step-by-step process, and you remember it, you retain it a lot faster. And so I have a bunch of frameworks inside of my program, and I teach through frameworks. That's just how my brain works, and it does actually help you to retain the information longer. It's scientifically proven through neuroscience. And so frameworks literally create that neural folder in your audience's memory. And so when you jump into the Business by Belief Accelerator, what we're going to do is you're going to extract your transition process, your transformational process through your story using one of my frameworks, the Treasure Trial Framework. And this is helping you to turn your lived experience into a marketable and repeatable method that positions you as the go-to expert in your field. And so the Lord had given me the Treasure Trial Framework. And it's so funny because the way I created the Treasure Trial Framework was showing up here on YouTube and just creating, this is how God speaks to me. So I'm really good at like creating a process. And so the Lord gave me the Treasure Trial Framework, and it just took off because then I was able to help so many women to build out their signature frameworks from this. And so it's a 5-step process. And if you've gone through a trial, right, you triumph. So if a trial, your triumph, your trail that you're going to create, which is your 3 to 5 step process, you're going to build out your testimony, your origin story for how you discovered this trial. And then you're going to get treasures. So the treasure trial is really to discover how you can get treasure from your trials, right? So God didn't put you through that pain for no purpose. We're birthing purpose through that pain, and we're doing it through a purpose-driven business. And so that is why it's so important to formulate your framework. That is the F, right? And so that's the F. We're going to jump into the I. The I is ignite clarity, confidence, and conviction. Okay, so when you have your framework, you go through module 1 of my Business by Belief Accelerator, or my Call to Coach course, because you can take the course as well. If you don't want to have the ongoing coaching, you can just take the course as well. And well, it is ongoing coaching, but it is monthly. It's not weekly. So with the Call to Coach course, you're going to get these same processes as well. So when you have your signature framework in that first module, you're literally going to ignite clarity, confidence, and conviction. Because one thing about clarity reduces the amygdala activation, which is the fear component. There's an amygdala in your brain. And so this is what signals danger to your brain. And so when you have clarity, it reduces that. Your body, your nervous system wants clarity. Your nervous system wants to make sure that you're safe. So once you have clarity, it reduces that amygdala activation and increases dopamine, which is your motivation to give you that momentum that you need to go forth. And it's allowing you to create content from calm rather than having a lot of chaos around what you're talking about. And so this is why inside of the Business by Belief Accelerator, you'll learn how to communicate your offer clearly through story selling. All right. So I have a framework. It's my CPR formula. It's my story selling formula to help you to create content. And so it's really creating the CPR formula is context, paradigm shift, and revelation. And I break it down where you're going to be creating content with setting that context, right? So just like did at the very top of this live, where I was sharing the context, right, of how I literally did the storytelling example here, where I'm showing you how my kitchen catching on fire last week has now sparked this idea, and I'm now shaping it into why it's important to have a framework. So I'm literally showcasing to you in real time the importance of story selling. When you learn this formula, you can create content from anything and bring it right back to your offer. This is a technique that will serve you forever and ever and ever, because it's like you'll never run out of content. You'll find content in anything. So no more like anxiety pitch, right? No more elevator pitch anxiety. Now you're just showing up clear, focused, you have conviction. When your message is clear, your energy is contagious, leading to conversions. So you now have this clarity. So now you show up with this level of certainty. And that is what sells. People want to know, like, you know what you're talking about, that you're confident in really leading them and guiding them. When you have this confidence and this clarity, your energy is contagious. And it's like, okay, where do I sign up? People are throwing their credit cards at you because you're like, I need you to lead me to this breakthrough that I really need.